made it through my birthday.
Smoke weed every day.
Yes.
Kevin!
Yeah, I just like that. I like Timmy. Okay. Not a whole lot to say. Made it through the birthday. Had an awesome time out on the lake with some good friends and stuff, and my brother Trace. And you just can't beat where I live. I live right in the armpit of paradise, and it's awesome. It really is awesome. I love it here. On with the show. Mr. David F. Townballer making it on the show tonight. I'm going to make sure he gets added in first before I go scooting off to anybody else. Just because Skype likes to be an ass. Or it has been for the last 2 weeks. So we'll see. See? No answer. Look at that. Oh, here we go again. All right, let's try Lori. Lori said she wanted to come on, so we'll Skype Prepper Chicks. See if she answers. My Skype's going to be an ass. So she's not answering either. Unbelievable.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Currently unavailable. Okay. So let me try this. I'm gonna close Skype and I'm gonna restart it. And we'll try to go from there. Hi Jeannie. Hi Dawn. Hi Spring. Hi L4. Hi Map. Hi Addie. Everything's just crawling along now. Okay, here we go. We've updated Skype so that the latest version, including performance improvements and general fixes. Good. Maybe it'll work this time. Click. Mr. David F. Townballer. Hey, look at that. It went right through after the updates. I guess the NSA had to get their hooks in my machine again. Hi, David.
What's up, Jimmy?
Welcome to the show, brother. Sorry you're not feeling good tonight, man.
Oh, man. I had a close one last night.
Did you? Try to get everybody else added in here. What happened last night?
Well, I've been having bad problems with my heart rate's been skyrocketing on me for the past couple days, and went to the doctor and stuff, and they looked at me and they gave me this medication, and I took it, and my throat swelled up.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought I was having a heart attack. I couldn't breathe. My heart was just pounding out of my chest. My wife was at work. My kids were at their friends, so I'm laying here, and I'm like, fuck, this is it, man. Said a prayer, took 2 Benadryl, and laid down, man, and I woke up, but my heart is still beating out of my chest, and my whole body's just trembling, man. I won't stop.
Why would you put 2 Benadryl on top of not feeling like that?
Because that's the only hope I had, man. I'm like, because I was having a reaction, so I just said, fuck it. This is all I got, man. Told the good Lord, if this is it, man.
Damn.
I woke up, but I don't know. It feels like my heart's just beating out of my chest still. My nerves are just going fucking haywire.
Wow, brother.
And I know it's a reaction to chemotherapy and everything, and that's the doctor said too. They still said my heart rate is like way up there, and a lot higher than what it should be.
Scary, brother. Scary, scary stuff.
It's just like I got a numb feeling running through me. My nerves are just fucking numb.
Everybody add a little extra prayer tonight for David, please. I'm sure he could use them.
I don't know. After last night, I just gave up last night, man. I did. I told God, I said, I'm sick of fighting, man. If you're going to do this, just do this.
Yeah. He's going to take you when he wants to take you, man.
That's exactly. I woke up, so obviously it wasn't time.
Yeah. You're not quitting. You're not a quitter.
I wasn't quitting. I'm just like, I'm just sick of the pain. I'm sick of the fight, man. It's beating on a person,
I hear you.
you know. Well, like I said, I look for no sympathy for no one, man, and it is what it is. But it sucks. Everybody's got their crosses to bear, and this is mine, and life goes on, I guess.
Well, people are praying for you. There's blessings coming from the room and stuff. So
I appreciate it all, man. I really do.
what's up with you, Lance?
Not much.
How's
What's up,
everything?
Dave?
How's everything
What's up,
over in the
Dark chocolate.
What's up, my dark chocolate?
what's happening over on the worst coast?
Just another day of talking to other human beings, getting demoralized. The unawake masses out there. I spoke to one guy today on the phone, and he was ranting about politics, and I kind of try to stay neutral when I'm at work talking about mortgages.
Right.
And this guy said, I can't believe that guy's in the office. We had the most qualified person on the planet to run this country, and she lost. And I was just like,
most qualified.
what do you say?
Person.
I mean, what do you say?
Jesus. Dude, oh man, I'm not even gonna comment.
And then the stories that we're going to be talking about tonight. I was just watching Tucker Carlson tonight, and they had that CEO on for that company that's getting ready to microchip everybody, or the people that want to, next week.
Man,
and
Up in
he was
Wisconsin.
saying all of the companies that are wanting to call him, for the technology.
52.
And he said the military's already using it, and I'm like,
yeah.
what
Oh
the
yeah.
fuck are we getting to, man?
52 of the 84 employees that place has are willingly going to get chipped.
And there's as many non-employees that are willing to get chipped so they can either buy their products or do something. I can't remember. But the guy was like,
man.
oh, it's not GPS trackable. We
Oh,
can't track
no.
your location. And Tucker
No.
said, yeah, I don't believe you. But
No.
next question.
It doesn't put off a signal, an active ping, but it's
Right.
always got it. There's
It's
always an
proximity.
electromagnetic. Yeah. There's always an EMF coming off of it, and it can be found by hackers and blah blah blah. blah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a proximity thing.
Yep. So, David, what are your thoughts on that shit?
I'm getting chipped.
Yeah. There was an article, I think it was on CNN or some big mainstream thing that said by the end of this year, everybody's going to be required to take one.
No, it's too far in its infancy right now.
I don't know, dude.
But
I
it's
don't know
coming.
about that. I don't know about that. They've had it out there for a long time. If you start Googling articles about microchipping, it goes way back, dude. It goes way back before 2001.
And you could go in for your vaccine and they could throw that in you and you'd never know.
If it was nano-sized, yeah. I'm pretty sure that if they tried to put one of those grains of rice in me, I'd know about it. And I feel sorry for the fucker that tries.
Yeah, and he said, well, what happens if the employee leaves the company?
Right. Do they remove it?
you take the chip out or what? And he's like, no, it stays in.
There was some company or some government down in South America, I think, that chipped all of their high-ranking government officials so that they could gain access to some certain rooms and stuff that the government had that were secret. So they had everybody, all the higher echelon people in the government chipped. This is going off the charts, man. Would you ever get a
Yeah, the whole
microchip, David? If they told you they could cure your cancer tomorrow if you took this microchip, would you take it, David?
That's a tough one, but
Yeah, I probably would.
probably would.
See, they'll do something like they'll find a way to make everybody go, "Ooh, I gotta have that little thing," just like cell phones.
I mean, I'd have to have absolute proof, but
Yeah, I mean, they got a better deal with the cell phones that they can listen to every single thing we do, see everything we can see if they want. So I mean, they got much better control over us with the smartphones than they would an RFID chip.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
And who knows what the fuck they're spraying over the top of us and all these chemtrails and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows that they can't take us over already because of the shit that we've inhaled into our bodies or, you know, assimilated through our skin or whatever the fuck, you know?
Well, you know, the
Morgellons
came
is-
out today.
Go
The
ahead.
story came out today from CBS today, and you know, and it says sperm count in Western men has been cut in half over the last 40 years.
Yeah, look at all the fucking food we eat and shit,
in
man.
Western countries.
Yeah. Look at, because of our diet, because of the fucking
It's
shit
got to
in our
be the
food.
diets.
Yeah. All the crap we drink, smoking cigarettes,
we'll
all the
have
crap that's in the
vaginas.
cigarettes and drink, you know, fuck.
And pretty soon we'll all have
Plastics.
vaginas, and that'll be done.
Everybody remembers bisphenol A. Yeah, I mean it's been in all the plastics for decades, giving men boobs and stuff. Look at these bad boys. Woo, man, I got some really nice boobs.
Well, I do too, man.
So, yeah, it's out there, man. And look at the way the boys are growing up now. Look at how they dress and how they act, and you know they've taken the manliness out of men. That we've been
Some of them.
emasculated.
Well, Trump's going to keep them out of the military.
You know, I seen a picture today someone put on Twitter of Arlington National, you know, the Arlington National Cemetery, and the caption they put, "Hey Trump, which one of these guys was fucking transsexual?" And it made a lot of sense when you looked at that picture of how many trannies have already probably died fighting for this country that are buried there.
I mean, there's estimates ranging from 1,300 to 10,000 that are active in the military right now.
No, there's only 250 active transgenders in the military right now.
Well, not according to mainstream media. There's between 1,300 and 10,000.
Yeah, that's the number I
Because the
heard.
douche that was just on Tucker Carlson said 10,000.
Yeah, I heard there was over thousands in there.
According to the United States military, which is the shit I saw today, you know, from the DOJ, there's 250 active duty transgender people that are claiming that they're transgender, that they've marked on their shit that they're transgender.
I don't have a problem with
So-
them serving. If they can lay down cover fire and protect me, I don't have a fucking problem with. You know, we had homos on our ship, and I didn't care as long as they had my ass, not literally, but as long as they had me covered, man. I didn't give a shit if they. I don't have a problem with gays or trannies or anybody of them. As long as they fight, I don't have a problem with them.
Everybody,
What I have,
you know,
no, what
we
the
were,
big problem is taking taxpayer money and paying for their surgery. That's what's the issue right now. Trump wants to take that money and build a wall with it.
yeah, but
And
we
the deal
paid
is
for
they say
we
the
paid for
surgeries the military's
Chelsea
paying for
Manning.
these guys makes up less than 1%.
We
And
paid for
so-
Chelsea Manning.
They said the government spends more money on Viagra than they do for tranny surgeries.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, it's all about the follow-up surgeries, the side effects, you're taking them out of work. But that douche that was on Tucker Carlson, he was like, you forget that they earned their right. They earned their right to these benefits and stuff like that. So
Let's get a woman's perspective. Lori, what about,
I'm just catching up. Why are you dumping shit on me as soon as I get in here?
why are you,
Ask me the question again.
number one, why are you late? Because I tried to add you right as the show started. Number
Dude,
two,
I have a job that's from hell right now.
oh, well, yeah, but you haven't been on for months, so
I'm trying to move. I had a child
trying to move.
out of state.
Where are you
I've
moving?
had tons of shit going on.
Where are you moving? Are you
Somewhere.
getting away from Mr. Jiggly? Are you
Yes,
running?
I am.
Are you running? Are
Because
you?
I have had the sheriff's department and the health inspector here for the last couple weeks.
What?
It's a long story.
Well,
Just another day in my life.
we still got an hour and 45 minutes, so start filling us in.
Oh, fuck no. We're not talking about it. I'm tired and I'm cranky.
Oh, okay. So give us your perspective on the whole Trump banning transgenders then. No more tallywhacker tucks in the military.
You know what? I don't care who serves in the military as long as they can do the job.
Yeah,
But
that's
I tell
what
you
said.
what,
That's what I
when
said.
they fucking bend the rules because it's politically correct, I'm air quoting there, I have a problem with that. If you're a female and you can keep up with the SEALs, then go for it. And you can do the job, then go for it. I ain't gonna stop you. But I tell you what, when you can't do the job and you expect special treatment, fuck you.
So are the guys that are switching over to women, are they going to start suffering cramps and menstrual cycles and stuff like that? They're going to be all bitchy once a month? Just
Aren't
like,
you already?
well,
Wait a
I'm just
minute.
asking.
Here, hang on. Not all women are like that.
Is that right?
You-
Is that
you're Very
right?
sexist there.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
that is right.
oh. Okay.
That was wrong.
Well, it's like this one tranny came on today. The dude was big as a fucking house. Looked like, kind of looked like the actor, The Rock, just massive. And looked at the camera and told Trump, "Come take me out of my military, dude."
But they're competing. Those guys that you're talking about are competing against other women in sports or whatnot, and somebody's going to get seriously hurt. I'm sorry if you can't figure out what you are because of what's between your legs, and you got a problem.
I mean,
What
they're
if-
building ships now. Like this new Ford Carrier was built without urinals.
Yeah.
And so, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. As long as they can, fight in a fight, then there's not a big deal about it.
It's
Whatever,
weird
I
about room
understand.
assignments, though. If they live in the dorm and they're
Would
in
you
the
wanna-
guys' dorm, and then they have a sex change, now they're living with women. How are the women going to feel?
How would
about
that
it?
make you feel?
Well, how about this? Minnesota schools just passed a law the other day where boys can use the girls' bathrooms in school, from elementary
Yeah,
school up to high
that
school.
failed. That failed here in Virginia. That Gavin kid tried to get it done. He graduated before it ever got passed here. He just graduated.
Teachers can't call
What is-
them boys or girls anymore. They got to call them scholars.
What
else
is
It's
was-
this
ridiculous,
is world
man.
coming to?
It's Agenda 21, girl. This is all by design. I'm trying to tell you all. It's all
Oh, I know. I was
by
being
design.
sarcastic.
I know, but some people don't get it. You know what I mean? There's a large segment of the population that doesn't see what's happening, and they just follow along like a bunch of hooked fish. And that's why we're doomed.
Yeah, well,
that's why they keep going at the rapid
Urinal
clip
thing
that they're
doesn't
going.
bother me.
Yeah.
I took the urinals out of all my bathrooms, anyways.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously. When I was running Pizza Huts across, whatever, I removed every fucking single urinal that we had.
And you did that why?
First of all, because they smelled like hell. Second of all, because nobody wanted to clean them. And third, because people would shit in them. And I say people as in it was all guys because women didn't go in there.
Yeah. You got to consider the segment of the population that you live around. So, I mean,
Honey, that's everywhere. That's not just... That goes on everywhere. Small towns, big cities, it does not matter.
I don't think that all of the time that I've ever gone inside and outside of truck stops for decades, and I don't think I've ever come across a lump of shit in a urinal.
Oh, I have.
Well,
Well, you guys live east
Oh,
of the
and
Mississippi.
it's usually because the toilet in the real toilet in the bathroom is clogged up too.
well, and the floor drain, you got a toilet there, you got the urinal there, but they'd still piss in the floor drain.
Did you serve alcohol at these establishments?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I guess they just came in drunk.
See
You
all
live in
kinds
big
of shit
cities,
in the
man.
Walmart bathroom.
Hell
You
yeah.
guys live in big cities.
That's not, you can't use that as an excuse that they were drunk, because there is a portion of our population that thinks that that's perfectly okay. It's not all
That's what I
about
just
having
said.
cramps because
That's what I just said. You
being
live in a
female
big city.
got cramps, and it's not all about being drunk.
You live in a big city. That's what I just said. The closer you get
No,
to big
this is how-
cities, the
This
dumber
is when
people get.
I was not in a big city.
Okay. Well, okay. I stand corrected.
There's no excuse for it.
And,
No,
and
there is
I have
AK
worked in
says
the-
it happens
in
all the
the-
time
in the
in Canada
public-
too.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
I
I've
said
worked
he
with
says
the
it
public
happens all
for
the time,
over 30
Pineda.
years.
Mr. AK said she's right. I'm a plumber in Canada. Happens here all the time. Jesus. Well, I mean,
I'm
you know,
telling
what
ya.
can you say? When 90% of the population has the attention span of a goldfish, you know,
But that was
what can you expect?
Years ago. That was 30 years ago. We didn't have millennials back then.
Well,
Wow.
I don't know what to tell you then. You live around,
That was trailer trash.
yeah,
back then.
don't
you
tell
live
me
around a bunch of dumb.
I'm telling you, this, right? I'm telling you, this is what we're going to have to deal with when this country goes down.
Not this fucking guy.
If,
I ain't dealing with none of that. Nope. That's why I moved to the middle of the woods.
you ain't that far removed.
I am pretty far removed. There is not an interstate
Yeah.
within 100 miles of this town.
And all those fucking people in the cities are going to go out to places where you're at.
Mm-mm. They wouldn't make it. All right, moving on.
We'll see.
Moving on. David, what's on top of your stack of stuff over there?
I'm just sitting there reading this one breaking news story's come out. This one, the cops are out looking for an inmate who escaped from Rikers Island.
Ooh, that's a bad prison.
I can't believe he escaped from that place.
Yeah. Who is he? Give us the lowdown.
Don't say his name. Says they're looking at the waters near LaGuardia Airport and others nearby. It says it's unclear how the inmate escaped.
Wow, they don't even know how he made it out.
No,
That's-
that or they're just not saying. But
That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary because there could be
yeah,
a line
many
of
others
people
know
behind
about
him.
the way to get out too.
Right. Yeah. Lordy said, go to Chinatown and check out the bathrooms.
It's disgusting.
I can imagine.
I remember took the kids and went to and we were in Chinatown in Lower Manhattan, and
I tried to move on. I really did.
kids went into a restaurant, you know, the atypical Chinese restaurant with the ducks hanging in the window and shit. So, you know, just for the kids to experience it. Walk into the women's bathroom. There's a toilet in there, pretty much it, and the entire side of the bath. So that if you walk in, it's just a small, you know, room with a toilet in it, an actual porcelain toilet, which I thought was impressive. But it was off to the right, up about the middle of the room. From the toilet all the way back to the back wall was nothing but used toilet paper, because it's against their beliefs to flush toilet paper. And this shit was piled. I'm 6 foot. This stuff was piled higher than I stand. So it'd been there for a while.
A big stack of poop stain rags.
It's disgusting.
All you got to do is go to your nearest Walmart. You'll see disgust.
Right?
That's why another reason I don't shop at Walmart, man. I just
Every place is getting bad. Every place.
JR said that one
The
dead.
vibrational levels of this planet suck.
JR said 1 dead, 5 critically injured after reported ride malfunction at Ohio State Fair.
Yeah, I got the video of that happening. If you ever want to see it, it's about 6 seconds long. Someone got it on video.
Drop that in
It's
the room,
fucking
brother.
fucked up, dude. It was like this car with about 6, 7, 8, 10 people in there, and the thing was going up, and the pin came out, and the car went flying out and came upside down on the ground.
Wow.
I
It
got
was
the
a
video.
roller
of it. I just
coaster.
posted it in my news group. It's messed up.
This is a roller coaster.
No, it was like a spider ride. They called it the fireball. It was like, I don't know. I got the video. I can send it to you real fast. You want it?
Yeah, do that.
It's only like 6 seconds long. Someone got right when it came undone on it.
Let me get over here to my OBS.
Well, this is a positive show tonight.
That's why I don't
Talking
go
about-
on that.
poop and
Yeah. Well, you're the one that brought up all the poop stuff. You know, David just said urinals.
now that goes back to you making comments about females. You know, all females are grouchy and all that stuff when they're having their period, but guys are just as bad.
Okay. Alrighty, let me get this up here.
Did you miss me?
Yeah. Yeah, I missed all the poop conversation.
I'm so tired.
Oh. Come on, video. Damn, this thing must be hitting 1 million laptops right now because it's slow as shit. All right, here we go. Get my OBS. Boing. That one there. Hit the OK button. There we go. All right. I think you peeps can see it. Dink. Here it goes. Watch that. Oh my god, damn. It came down and hit the actual guardrail for the machine. It was already on its way out.
Fuck yeah, it's missed. It's lucky Morton to go again.
Wow. That one kid was dropping. Woof. Wow. I'm going to switch back to the room and see if you people want to see that one more time. I played it twice. If you guys didn't see it.
The car dropped off.
Yeah. Bang.
Looked like it had about 10 people in it.
That one kid got chucked way the hell out there, man.
He's the one that died, probably.
I'll show it twice. If you guys want to see it again, let me know really quick.
Are you putting it on the YouTube thing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Put it in the room there.
I'll put the link in the room for everybody.
I'm that far behind.
I'll put the link in the room. Everybody can check it out when they start there.
So I'll know not to watch it.
It ain't graphic. It's from a distance, but you can definitely see what happened.
Yeah. David just dropped it in the room there for everybody if they want to go click on it and see it again. I'll switch back.
That's why carnies get paid so much for Safe Rides.
Oh, God. I would never get on a carnival ride. I've watched a couple of accidents like that shit happen at local carnivals in Illinois back when I was younger, and that's when I quit. Going to them. Yeah. If it rolls down the road on a fucking semi, I ain't getting on it. I'm sorry. Just not going to happen. Okie dokie. What's next? What else you got?
Yeah, this just came out now. This is Italy's largest bank has been hacked in major security breach. It got 400,000 accounts have been stolen.
That's fantastic.
It says Italy's top bank, Unicredit, has been targeted in a huge hacking attack in Europe's largest banking security breach this year. 400,000 client accounts were stolen in the hack.
That's just another excuse, you know. That's just another excuse.
It's like they say, if you're alive, you've been hacked. Everybody's been hacked. Some people just don't know it.
Wow.
It's the thing that sucks about the internet these days, man. You know, gives hackers easy access. You know, I was reading a story today that came out too, how they're hacking car washes now, automated car washes.
Yeah.
And you drive into these car washes and the door's shut and they won't open it, and they start programming the machine to beat the shit out of your car and spray high volumes of water.
Anything they can get their hands on, man.
Like I said, it's happened a couple times already in the United States where car washes have been hacked and cars getting severely damaged, people getting almost drowned.
David Howard says, what part of Illinois? I was born in Bethany, just outside of Decatur. Moved to Texas in 1958.
Well, it's the Ohio State Fair, they said that happened in.
No, he was asking me what part of Illinois I lived in. I was in Champaign County, a little town called Rantoul, just north of Champaign, Urbana. where Chanute Air Force Base was. That's where I grew up. I did not mute you, Lori. You were actually just talking a minute ago. I did not mute you. You're still on the call, actually.
It was some of her stuff was garbled.
There. Yeah, her connection's crap, like always, but I heard you speaking, Lori. See? I heard you
I
grunt.
just said hello.
There you go. There you go. We can hear you.
Lovely.
All right. Another story, David, and then I got something I want to do.
It just came out just now. It says, U.S.-led coalition tells local Syrian allies they must only fight ISIS and not Assad, prompting exit of allied groups from was it at Tanaf, wherever our base is over there. We told her groups you can only fight Assad, and they all got up and left.
Well, they're not getting any more funding or any weapons and stuff. I mean, Trump cut all that shit off.
That's what Trump says publicly.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of that shit.
They know they're not going to advance anymore, man. It's been, 6 years they've been over there trying to beat his ass, and they can't get him killed, so fuck it.
Russia just signed a deal with Assad for his Hamim air base, where Russia can be there for up to 49 years now.
Yep. And Turkey just bought a bunch of S-400s off of Russia.
Yeah, that pissed NATO off big time.
Oh, boy. What do you think about that? Where do you think they're going to ship them off to? Syria?
The deal with Turkey,
Out of Syria.
like NATO told them, they said what you just bought from Russia isn't going to hook up to the NATO missile defense system. And Turkey's like, well, that's just the way it goes, Obviously, the only reason why Turkey's still in NATO is because we want, we need our air base over there. And Erdogan knows that. Mm-hmm. He knows he can get away with anything, other than killing our soldiers, that we're not going to do nothing about it. Germany, I'll give it to Merkel. She's moving her people out of there.
Yep.
But not us. We're like, whatever.
We want to be
United States,
everywhere.
it's like I wrote in my group, United States and our government is completely impudent right now. It's fucking
That's what I said last week, man. We're a fucking paper tiger.
We are. We're
Talk a lot of
paper
shit.
tiger, and people need to realize it. Even if you support Trump, it doesn't matter. He's not going to fix what's fucking destroyed. This country is going down in flames.
Yeah.
We're no longer a threat to anybody.
No, we're not going down in flames.
We're a laughing stock.
We're going down wrapped in a 6-foot pile of poopy paper.
We're a laughing stock. It makes me sick to my stomach, too, man.
Yep.
The people didn't ruin this country. The fucking government did.
That pile of shit-stained asswipe is the perfect semblance of what our country is right now.
And it's like I tell people, I don't support any greasy politician. They're all fucking scumbags. I'll talk about Trump as bad as I talk about Hillary or Obama or Bush or Bill Clinton or any of them cocksuckers. And the deal is, they don't care. And they've ruined this country. The elite have ruined this country. Our government's ruined this country. And for any person that calls himself a patriot that says, oh, Donald Trump, USA, you can go fuck yourself because you're fucking brainwashed. He doesn't give a fuck about you, just like the rest of the cocksuckers in D.C. They don't care. And, and it's time for us American people to speak up and tell these son of a bitches, you fucking ruined us. They can't even fix it now. It's so fucking ruined. I'm just fed up with it as an American citizen myself, someone that put themselves on the line for 4 years for this nation. I'm fucking fed up with the horse shit going on in D.C. right now.
Yep.
I've been fed up for a while, but especially now, man, our government is not working whatsoever. They're not getting nothing fucking solved in D.C. I blame our government. I blame the mainstream media. I blame it all. And I blame the people for not having no goddamn balls and speaking up like I'm doing right now.
They're brainwashed, dude. They haven't broke out of their fucking brainwash. The people that are awake to what's going on in the paradigm out there, even though they're slapped in the face with reality every fucking day, they just don't let it doesn't stick. That's what I said. When 90% of the population has an attention span of a goldfish, there's not much left you can do. That's why I keep saying, and it sounds horrible to say, but it's the truth, and the truth hurts, man. But we need this culling. We need it.
Oh,
the
we
gene
do.
pool.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, the gene pool has become entirely too shallow on this planet. It just
Idiocy is taking over.
yes, and the empathy, the lack of empathy, the obtuseness of people, the uncaring, whatever you want to call it, is just they've lost their humanity. And when you've lost your humanity, goodbye.
You know, Americans used to be a nation of balls, and it ain't our government that had balls. The people had balls. We don't have balls anymore. At least most of us don't. Some of us still do, but a lot of people don't anymore. You know, they're so brainwashed with this Donald Trump, and I don't fucking get this. It drives me nuts. What has this goddamn guy fucking done?
Nothing. Nothing.
To fucking get the respect that he's getting from his base.
Nothing.
These people have to be goddamn brainwashed.
They are. It's obvious. You know, we live in a fucking matrix. It's just.
These people,
It's
his
pathetic.
base is fucking, like I said, I'll talk about him, I'll talk about Hillary, all of them are scumbags, but I've never seen such brainwashed fucking people worship a fucking guy when he's done absolutely nothing.
Peter says he needs a safe space. You need to calm down a little bit over there, David.
Fuck, I need to fucking punch something. You know, it's just irritating. As a news guy sitting back watching this every fucking day, it's like, what the fuck has this dude done to get any kind of fucking respect?
Nothing.
Nothing. But yet, ask his 36% base, whatever they are, and he's fucking God.
He's a billionaire because of banker bailouts. You know, he's filed bankruptcy how many times? You know, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But people like that are in the know, you know, that's the way it happens for them. When you're a Kabbalist and you know worship the satanic hierarchy that runs everything, then you get what you get. So there you go. But this is a beautiful segue into this video that I want to show you guys from Aaron and Melissa Dykes over at True Stream Media. Just another one of their fabulous videos that they've been putting out. So sit back, relax for a few minutes. It's like 8.5 minutes long. If you guys got to go pee-pee or something, then turn the volume up and listen, you know. But just this is going to drive home the point that David was just making. So check this out.
I saw this and I had to say something. Something is very wrong with a large segment of society. Where did their humanity go? As the dehumanization cranks up towards, I guess, the singularity that's coming in our lovely smart grid technocracy that we live in, you have people doing some of the sickest stuff ever because they are so gone from reality, so far removed from it, they can't tell the difference anymore when real things are happening to them in reality that's in front of their face. I can't even go into a grocery store without being surrounded by zombies on their phones who can't even be bothered to look up to see what it is they're even putting in their cart. They probably don't even know what they're actually eating when they buy food at the grocery store anymore. And now we have people like this 18-year-old who live streamed her 14-year-old sister's death when she was on her phone. She was live streaming herself dancing on the phone and then veered off the road and then overcorrected, veered back on the road, swerved across several lanes, crashed through a wire fence, overturned her car in the field, and killed her 14-year-old sister. And then she live streamed it and zoomed up on her bloody dying sister's face and said things like, I effing killed my sister, okay, I know I'm going to jail for life, this is the last thing I wanted to happen, okay, I don't effing care though, I'm going to hold it down. She was actually intoxicated and on her phone, so double whammy, and she's live streaming that stuff. That's not what you do! I mean, I'd love to just say this girl was just in shock, but I watched part of the video. I'm not going to play these videos for you guys, by the way. But you can find them easily enough if you want to see it for yourself. But the parts that I watched the first part. She just seemed high. And she's yanking her sister's body around like it's a doll, like it's not even a real human being. Her immediate reaction was to film this. That is not normal to have that reaction. And then, because that's not messed up enough or anything, there's a Justice for Obdulia Sanchez Facebook page with a picture of her making duck lips with a gun because, and I quote, Obdulia Sanchez is a child who made an error in judgment is being made a scapegoat for an incident that took the life of her 14-year-old sister, but it is not Obdulia's fault. She should not be held responsible for this terrible tragedy, which says more about our society and what is deemed acceptable. We need to look at society and see where we went wrong and how we can prevent this from happening in the future, but there is no reason why Obdulia should bear the brunt of the consequences. As if something so awful could get more stupid. How should she not have to bear the responsibility for any of her actions in this? At all. I don't understand the argument. Over 7,000 people have joined this Facebook group. The thing itself is already one of the most senseless, ridiculous, stupid tragedies ever. But this is like a bag of moldy tangerines on the dumpster fire cake. And she pleaded not guilty, by the way. It's so weird to me that we live in a society where people will point a phone at a person who's dying or hurt or in need of assistance in some kind of way, and they'll just film it. Like they don't even know what empathy is anymore. Their humanity is completely removed from them. They're just empty vessels of smartphones. What is happening to people? This isn't normal. It's not normal to do. I mean, even if you thought that your sister was beyond hope, wouldn't you try to cover up her wounds or stop the bleeding or do anything but sit there and film it and pose for selfies with your dying, bleeding to death sister that you just basically killed? It's not just her. Just before that, you had a group of Florida teens filming a disabled man drowning and laughing about it and saying things like, "Ain't nobody gonna help you, you dumb blank. You shouldn't have got in there." And they just watched this guy die. They watched him go under the water and not come back up, and they laughed about it and they filmed it. And initially they weren't going to charge him with anything because watching someone drown and not doing anything about it, that's not a crime. That's fine. If you sit there and do nothing at all. Apparently they are going to be able to do some kind of charges now because they didn't call the cops after the person died. So they got some kind of technicality or whatever. This has become such an issue, and I don't even know if this is the answer. It's just the point I want to make is that it's become such an issue that in Germany they have now passed laws because they want people to stop filming other people's suicide attempts and putting those up on social media. It has to do with filming people in vulnerable situations and not doing anything to help them. Everyone just stands around and pulls out their phone and watches someone else die. People have become so dehumanized by our modern, technologically advanced society that this is how they act now to their fellow human beings. That is the point. I don't know if this law is the right answer. I'm not going to sit here and argue that. But the fact that it happened so much that the freaking country of Germany had to come up with a law? What does that tell you about the citizens? What does that tell you about the nature of humanity itself? We live in a world where Al Gore has now made a sequel to his inconvenient bullshit movie called An Inconvenient Sequel. And Kid Rock is talking about running for Senate. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is that we are living in idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
It is literally here, complete with French fry dispensing vending machines. People talk about my generation being a bunch of jerks, and then they talk about how all the millennials are stupid. I don't believe all of anybody is stupid. I don't think that's fair at all. But there's an overall downward trend that you guys have to admit is going on with large segments of the population today. And it is coinciding with the rise of this technology. And they can't tell the difference between real life and what's on the screen anymore, that they're filming people dying and people committing suicide, and people just, they don't even care. I don't know what to do. Because we don't live in a society anymore where it's the they live signal and it's in a centralized location and you can just go there and unplug it, right? Everyone's walking around and driving around with the they live signal, and they're sleeping with it next to their heads at night, and they're carrying it around with them all day long, and they don't even seem to notice how much they have changed as human beings. Back in the day, when they used all the propaganda to make everyone into a nice, pacified, good little consumer, wow, well, they don't have to do all that much anymore, because it's now technologically advanced. We do it to ourselves. I'm really sad for society, actually. I really am. I don't want to just make videos that are so depressing, because there's so much amazing stuff in the world, actually. But they have completely hollowed people out. It's like the thing that's driving the meat suit isn't really much there anymore, which just leaves a meat suit, right? It's like they've removed people's souls. It's like people are walking around barely human. Barely. How do you get those people to wake up out of their coma?
Anybody have an answer to that one?
You can't. It's a done deal.
Fresh start.
Yeah.
No, it's a done deal, man.
That's why I've been saying that we need the culling. No matter how hard it's going to be, and some estimates are saying 8 out of 10 people that you know right now aren't going to be around anymore. You know, it's going to be that drastic. About 80% of the population is going to go away when shit really goes south, when we lose electricity or whatever the fuck's going to happen worldwide happens. 8 out of 10. Or if it's even just in this country, 8 out of 10. So it's going to be painful, but I really do think we need it.
But the good and the bad are both going to go. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to make it less.
Well, you got to start somewhere, right? What's that old military saying, David? You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Nope.
So I mean, it sounds
eventually
really
nuking each other and have an apocalyptic world and go from there.
It sounds really horrific of me to even say it, and I know some people are looking at the screen going, "What the fuck is this guy talking?" You know, but hey, man, the truth is the truth, and if you really stop and tell yourself the truth, I'm pretty sure that most of you would agree with what I'm saying right now. It's just, I mean, when you walk into a fucking McDonald's, or if you still eat that shit, or if you try to buy, order a pizza, or you know what I mean, the people that you're talking to, the people that they're just not there. There's nobody there.
Well, I'll give you an example. Last night, Trump, did his speech wherever he was in Virginia, or I don't know where the fuck he was last night. His campaign rally after being elected for 6 months already. And what'd he say? I'm more presidential than any president in U.S. history except Abraham Lincoln. And people fucking cheering that.
Yeah.
How dare him say he's more
And he's talking about
than,
being put on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, how dare him say he's more presidential than fucking Jefferson or Washington? He said he's more presidential than them. Fuck that guy and fuck people that support that shit.
I know. He's an egomaniac. I said that from the very beginning.
Who in the fuck? And then what else did he say? What did his spokesman, that new communique Scaramucci, said today? He said he compared Trump's bid to repeal Obamacare to Lincoln abolishing the slaves.
I'm surprised that he hasn't put the Trump logo on the outside of the White House yet.
Fucking kidding me. This dude's a goddamn psycho.
Or on the door of the limo. Or on the side of the plane.
And I don't even blame Trump. I blame the fucking people that voted for his sorry ass. Now, I'm not saying you should have voted for Hillary. You shouldn't have goddamn voted at all. It was a choice between a shit pie and a shit pie with peanuts. Americans should have been smart enough and said, you know what, we're getting goddamn play from both sides here. Fuck this, I'm not voting. And so instead of voting for a killer, you vote for another fucking psycho. And this dude is absolutely goddamn nuts.
Yeah.
Anybody that says that they're the most presidential person since fucking better than anybody except Lincoln? Fucking kidding me? And people applauding that? I blame the people that voted for that stupid son of a bitch. You shouldn't have voted at all. Americans should have been smart enough to see that the elite were playing this from both sides. I voted, who I voted for? Gary Johnson. It ain't that I even like the cocksucker, but I was going to take a vote away either from him or from Hillary. Either way. I knew Gary Johnson didn't stand a chance. I said, fuck it, I'll vote for this guy because I know he's not going to get it, but if anything, this will take a vote away from either one of them.
Gary's funny.
The only reason why I voted this year was to vote for medical marijuana in North Dakota. That's the only reason why I went to vote, period.
I noticed that my camera seems to be backward. Well, I don't know why, but the wording's backwards on it. But usually when the broadcast goes out, it flips it around so you can see it like you're seeing me. I don't know what's up with that. I'll have to check my settings after the show's over with. I'm not going to fuck with anything right now.
And the deal is, people say, if you don't vote, you're wasting your bullshit. There's a thing called the Constitution that says you don't have to vote if you don't want it, and it doesn't say that you can't bitch if you don't vote. That's the lamest fucking excuse I've ever heard. To me, not voting, I have every reason to complain, because I didn't like any. I was smart enough to know that there wasn't a cocksucker in this race that was right for this country.
I've said that my whole life. My dad used to tell me, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain about anything. It's like, no. If I don't agree with what I'm...
Dad said the same thing. I said, you know what, Dad? I was smart enough to see we were being played.
Right. If I don't agree with things, I'm not going to throw my vote at anybody. It's the lesser of two evils, and I don't vote for evil. So there you go.
That's exactly it. The lesser of two evils is still fucking evil.
That's right. All right.
Ricky asked, what would happen if no one voted? It'd be a great day in America.
No, they'd fake it. And the people in this country.
One person, of course, but if no one voted in this country, that'd be the best thing America's ever fucking done.
Only about 25% of the country votes right now. So think about that. Only about 25% of the country actually goes and votes right now.
Yeah, so that's it.
That means that your president was elected with less than 12% of the fucking vote. Oh, God. But hey.
And the thing that sickens me the most is people that call themselves patriots that sit here and defend this and defend that. You can't defend this shit. You can't defend what's happening in this country right now. You cannot fucking defend it.
Nope.
I don't care if it's fucking Hillary, the fucking Satan Clinton, or fucking Donald the Oompa Loompa fucking Trump. You can't defend any of this shit that's happening in this country. It's like that video's played. It's idiocracy. It's just people that are just stupid now. Stupid. They're laughing to see someone like Kid Rock running for senator. Fuck him.
He's actually running.
His music
he
sucks.
Really is running.
That's
not just a ploy. He put out a tweet that said, yes, the site's legitimate. He's running for the Senate, and he actually has the lead in the polls right now.
This country thinks it's funny to elect a movie star or a musician, and they think it's funny. That's the whole problem with this country and the people. They think it's funny to put these fucking idiots in control.
This, man. I do got to say this.
Once they get in control, they're not. They don't have the balls to admit that they fucked up by electing this person.
I do got to say this. He can't do any worse than the people that are in there now. He can't do any worse than the people that are in there now.
No, he can't, but it's ridiculous. This just shows how this country's become. It's real funny. It's real cool to put in this fucking dude. Now you got Caitlyn Jenner that's going to run in California, and she's going to win because of all the homosexuals out there and all the trannies. They're going to want to get someone into Washington to represent them. This is the direction this country has gone. And you know what? I would say wake up, but it's too goddamn late. People have got their heads so far up their ass in this country they can fucking taste their colon. And it's ridiculous. And it just sickens me, man. When I was fucking dying last night, and I was like, fucking get me out of here, man. I've had enough of this fucking ape planet.
Yeah.
People have just gone goddamn stupid.
Lori, what were you going to say?
Well, what we're really seeing is just a byproduct of the public school system over the years. The adults that we have now running this country are a byproduct of that. It's by design.
Yes.
So why is anybody surprised?
Because it was indoctrination.
Yes.
The schooling was
we're exactly where they wanted us.
Yep.
There's, and Dave, you said it. I mean, there's nobody that can even think for themselves anymore because they haven't been allowed to growing up.
Right.
But you can see, I work out in public. You can see, feel we've talked about it a million times, the tension, the fear that's out there that is just vibrating around this planet right now is unbelievable, or on it, depending on which way you see it. If it's flat or it's round, I'm not going to go there. But, it is what it is.
Yep.
Well, my wife works in the public too. She works at a library and she works for Easter Seals, and she talks to people every fucking day. And she says she comes every day just pissed off in the library going, she just can't believe how stupid people really are over library books. She said people actually come in confrontational looking to start a fight, just waiting for her to open her mouth so they can yell at her because they're so pissed off.
Yep.
But then stop participating with them.
She'll tell them, "Oh, you got your books overdue. You owe 10 cents." She says, "You wouldn't believe how many people just go ape shit over owing 10 cents."
That's how broke this country's getting.
But when you get upset with them, but you're allowing them.
My wife's real calm. That's she's got all kinds of.
We each have control over ourselves.
My wife stays real calm with this shit. She's got accommodations.
Well, you said she was pissed off.
No, not her. The people that come up to her.
Well, you said she comes home in a bad mood.
No.
Well, she comes home bad. She keeps her frown on. She doesn't get pissed off at work. She keeps it in. But when she comes home and we start talking, and she's like, "David, you just can't," because I tell her, I see how stupid people are on the internet every day. She's like, "You ought to be out in the public, David." She said, "You talk about stupid on the internet." She said, "I see stupid face to face all day long."
Yeah, like Peter says, I only got 5 McNuggets. The chick went off on the people at McDonald's and started throwing shit over the counter over a McNugget. It's just that's the mindset that the whole entire planet is clicked into. Well, I can't really say the whole entire planet.
Everybody's looking for a fight.
Yeah. What can I say?
For example of this, my wife, they get these shirts in the summer that they can wear at their own time and choose them, but they get these T-shirts from the library, and they get a theme every year. And it was something on her shirt, I can't remember exactly, says something simple, but it was in rainbow colors. Well, this Trump supporter came in, seen my wife wearing that shirt, and cussed her out for being a fucking lesbian, cussed her out for being a fucking snowflake. And my wife's like, "Listen here." She's like, "These are the shirts we have to wear. This has nothing to do with gay pride. This is just the way they made the shirt." And this is how confrontation, especially Trump support, come in and call my wife a lesbian because she's wearing a city-issued fucking shirt.
Yeah. That's
Black
like
dude came in and didn't have the right identification for a fucking library card. My wife says, "Sorry, I can't give you one. You're a goddamn racist. It's because I'm black." Really?
All I can do is shake my head, man, because I know that it's not going to get any better. It's just not. It's not going to get any better.
It's not.
It's just going to continue to get worse. We're going to continue to make the journey down the toilet until everything comes to a screeching halt, man. When people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. And you're watching it happen in front of you every day. To Facebook Live your sister's dead body after you just killed her in a car wreck instead of calling 911 is just...
It's like that black dude on Facebook that went up and shot that dude in the head a while back.
What'd you say, Lori?
That's the narcissist we're raising right now.
Right.
It's all about your
selfie generation.
On Facebook and feel sorry for me. I'm depressed and I need a GoFundMe because I can't get off my fucking ass and get a job, but please give me money because my life is miserable. It's the generation now. We've done studies. The generation that's coming up is going to be a little bit better because it's swinging the other way. I haven't completely given up on humanity yet. I won't. I refuse to.
Well,
I don't know if a reset's even going to work.
What was that dude in Florida
like
the other day?
You're going to take out the good with the bad.
That dude driving down that Florida beach the other day.
I can't focus on the negative all the time. I'm not going to get upset about stuff. I have people screaming at me every single day. And I just love them back. Because that's my choice.
I don't know. I guess if you're a realist like I am, I look at reality. You know, I don't try to sugarcoat anything, you know. And like I said, I see it all.
I'm not denying any of it. I see it every single day when I walk out
you got
my
a
door.
choice whether you let it get to you or not. I agree with that, but people can't deny fucking reality. You know, I look at my kids growing up, and I feel sorry for them for the world they're growing up in. I grew up in, I was born in '66. I grew up in the '70s and the '80s, and this country has changed 100-fold just since then.
Oh yeah, it's changed 100-fold in 50 years.
But you know what?
Easy.
Our grandparents said the same thing.
And it just gets worse with each generation.
Well,
each decade, this country takes a big shit on itself. If it's this bad now, how bad is it going to be in 20 years if we're still here? As technology evolves, humans get stupid.
Our parents had it so good that they didn't really see it. You know what I mean? They didn't really see the propaganda that was being pushed at them and the manipulation that was being pushed at them. They were patriots. They were the ones that built this country, them and their parents. But I mean, granted, there's nothing
spitting on our soldiers coming back from Vietnam, you know.
But we can't distract from the what's happening anymore, right? I mean, nobody has the good life anymore. 2/3 of the population is unemployed. There's no white picket fence with a dog in the backyard, and there's no more distractions to keep the people at bay.
Don't worry, Trump's bringing it all back. According to him.
Yeah. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Supporters.
I'm not going to hold my breath for that. All right, let's move on to something else. We're in the second hour. Let's pick another story. Go ahead, David.
A story came out that says hackers warn that radioactivity sensors can be spoofed or disabled now.
Nice. So we won't know when a nuclear weapon goes off?
Yeah, pretty much. That or they can make you think one went off.
Right. A Massachusetts jail is going to ban face-to-face visits with their prisoners and opt for video phone conferences. So you're no longer going to be able to visit and touch hands and all that good stuff across a table in the dining room or whatever the hell they did their visits, or what they're now going to do it over video conferencing called Secure US. That's in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. So don't go to jail in Dartmouth, or you won't be able to touch your old lady or old man or kid or whoever. It's a Skype-like video calling system. It's supposed to crack down on people being brought things. Okay, let's see. People actually had to sleep on the beaches in Provence because 10,000 of them were evacuated as wildfires swept across their villages. Nice.
How many?
10,000 people slept on the beaches to stay safe from the fire, so they could just roll over and get wet.
Isn't that the plan for everybody, though? I mean, honestly.
Yeah. The CIA and Senator Marco Rubio are accused of plotting a regime change in Venezuela. That's a story from Zero Hedge. I'm just going to read you these headlines. I'm not going to actually dive into the stories. I'll leave all that to David. Unless he gets, empty or something. Declassified memos show that Obama's NSA spied on Americans way more than anybody thought. So there's that story from Zero Hedge as well. Let's see. Oh, you guys got to see this one. and then I'll turn it over to you, David. Hang on just a second. I want to show you guys this one. Doink. Look at that chart. Everybody see that chart? Let me pull it up real big here so everybody can see it and read it and all that good stuff. Whoop. Easy. Southern California median home prices. This number down here is January of 2012, 260,000. June of 2017, 500,000. And the tweet that went along with that is, I don't have an economics PhD, but I believe this works out to more than 2% inflation. Because that's what they're trying to get everybody to believe, that 2% inflation. That's like 55%, 50%, 50%. Okay. All right. Back to you, David.
Oh, what do we got here? Let me get back to this one story here. We just passed, Senator, just passed the House sanctions on Russia and Iran, and North Korea was in there too, but they're having a sticking point with that. The Senate the leader wants to strip North Korea out of these sanctions and just keep it on Russia and Iran for right now. But they're hoping to get this bill to Trump's desk by Friday. And Trump said he is going to sign it reluctantly, but he is, which means that he can't reverse sanctions on Russia unless he goes through Congress and the Senate first, which, they're not going to let him do it. But Putin came out with a statement tonight, and he's not happy at all. Russians say new U.S. sanctions could push ties to uncharted waters. Says Russian official says that if Trump votes to implement new sanctions, it will confirm that he's a hostage of anti-Russian hysteria. And they're calling this Cold War.
They just won't get off of it, man. There's so many stories out there that says that it's complete bullshit, it's insider shit, blah, 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 and they still won't investigate the death of Seth Rich because that would blow the entire Russian shit out of the water. It's just laughable at this point. The whole Russian tie thing is just they just passed the sanctions, and everybody is saying over in Russia, this is not good. You people are trying to start a fire.
Yeah, and Russia's calling this Cold War 2.0, and it says Russia took no time on Wednesday delivering its response to the near unanimous decision by the U.S. House of Representatives to impose a fresh round of sweeping sanctions on its country for possible meddling in U.S. presidential elections. It says retaliation was almost certain, warned Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov. Without going into details, though, it is widely expected that dozens of U.S. diplomats will be expelled. Says Ryabkov said the vote took the erstwhile Cold War foes into uncharted waters. They said that this is a new stage of confrontation, says Alexei Pushkov, who heads the international affairs in Russian parliament. Says if Trump signs this, it will confirm that he's a hostage of anti-Russian hysteria. And it says other Russians echoed this sentiment, who described the sanctions bill as the brainchild of congressmen who are scared by Russia and out to get Trump. And says weird Putin or Vladimir. I can't even say his last name. He's the chief researcher at the Government Link Institute for U.S. and Canadian Studies in Moscow. He said, we are dealing with extremely cunning people here. It says the Congress and Trump will try to make it look like it happened by chance. And so Russia said there's going to be an immediate response for this as soon as Trump signs this. They're going to kick out about 40-something of our diplomatic people out of there and other things.
TikTok.
And the deal is whether Trump's intended on signing, Trump could be pretending all this, and he's, that he's for Russia when he's really against it, just playing his cards. Who knows? But he's going to sign this, he said, and
of course he is.
It'll be interesting to see what happens between us and Russia after this. And these will also be sanctions on Iran, which Iran said they're going to retaliate if we sign this. North Korea was in these sanctions too, but one of the head senators wants to leave North Korea out now because they want to discuss the exact sanctions still they want to put on North Korea, whereas the House wants to let it go as is. So, if Trump don't get this on his desk by Friday, that means this won't get approved for like 5 weeks.
Right.
And Trump says that he wants this. If he's, if they want him to sign this, he wants this thing on his desk by Friday. Because after after this Friday, our glorious senators and congressmen and Trump that we pay so much money to are going on a 5-week vacation.
Right. Trump will probably be out on some more tours. You know, he's still on his I won the fucking election tour.
Yeah, 6 months later.
Right. 7.
Yeah, 7.
So, yeah. Whatever.
Never seen nothing like it, man.
Hey, man. Everybody buy one of my Make America Great Again hats that was made in China, please. And buy one of my daughter's
came
dresses
out.
that was made in China, please. And they
like
just
a
said
bonkers
China was
stuff.
the longest term threat to the United States out there now. It's not Russia, it's not Iran, it's not Al Qaeda, it's not the ISIS, it's not the Taliban, it's China. China's the number one threat long term to the U.S.
You know, you still got this crisis going on with Qatar. And, you know, what's kind of funny is this was not manufactured by us on purpose because it was announced today that the UAE is replacing Qatari oil with U.S. oil. They got their first shipment from us already. So we're making money off this Qatar crisis.
Who is?
We're going to start selling all these countries oil that was getting oil from Qatar.
Who isn't? Who isn't making money on it? Raytheon's making money on it. General Electric's making money on it. You know, Boeing probably making money on it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. And, you know, a lot of these crises we create just to make money off of it. We don't care who dies, what happens, as long as we make money. You know, got to keep the military-industrial complex going. You know, Israel's been having a big thing going on over there at the Temple Mount with the Palestinians since that terror attack the other day where those 2 guys walked in with guns and started mowing people down.
Right.
And, you know, Israel put in metal detectors. Then, you know, they ended up taking
Forced
them
everybody
out.
into body searches, too.
Yeah, then they ended up taking them out and putting in cameras instead. But now it's been announced that Netanyahu's taking all security measures down. Palestinians can go in just like they were before. And they're shooting off fireworks tonight. And people are, you know, that support Israel are pissed saying Netanyahu fucking caved and he's a sellout to the Palestinians now.
He just wants to foment some more violence.
You know?
That's
because
all.
Because you know, Hamas and all them were calling for days of rage on Friday and all this other shit. And now they're saying, well, all right, now that you're taking everything down, we'll back off.
Right.
So they're saying Netanyahu
now there'll be stabbings on this, you know, on right against the wall. You know what I mean? That's what he's opening it up so people can come in there, and then there'll be conflicts between the Jews and the Israelis, or the Israelis and the Palestinians. Okay, whatever. We'll see. We'll see what
that's
happens.
a situation that's been going on for how long? You know,
there's something behind it, is what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why he caved in.
Yeah, there has to be something behind it.
Yep. So we'll see what happens.
I just wondered what.
He'll probably send a bunch of undercover IDF in there to, I don't know. We'll see.
So, you know, they're saying that they got that tamped down now.
Yeah.
To keep the violence down.
So, Secret Service agent accidentally shot himself today while on duty. Stupid. Let me read this one. I haven't even read it. I just tweeted it out earlier. Special officer accidentally shoots himself while on duty. A Secret Service special officer on Tuesday afternoon accidentally shot himself. I guess it was yesterday. So, a news release from the Secret Service said a special officer assigned to the Washington field office accidentally discharged his weapon while on duty. The incident has been referred to the Office of Professional Responsibility for further review. Let's see. Today at approximately 4 p.m., a Secret Service special officer assigned to the Washington field office was involved in an accidental discharge of a weapon while on duty. The officer was transported to a local hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. No one else was injured during the incident. No property damage was sustained. There were no Secret Service protectees in proximity of this incident. The incident has been referred to the Office of Professional Responsibility. So they don't even say who he was assigned to or why he had his hand on his weapon. He just shot himself. Derp.
This just came out. I was just talking about the Russia sanctions, and they wanted to keep North Korea out. Well, I guess North Korea is staying in. It's been passed now, and it's on its way to Trump's desk now to be signed.
Oh, boy.
Just came out about 9 minutes ago.
Think he's going to sign it?
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. He said he would.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, he did, and so did his new Scaramucci spokesman.
Well, no. I mean, yeah, Scaramucci. No, I mean, do you think he's really going to sign it? You don't think anybody's going to step in at the last minute and go, "Hey, wait"?
No, it's approved. This has been going on since they've been voting on these sanctions back and forth for about 6 months now. And now they finally got them, and everything's settled. And Trump says reluctantly he'll sign it. They said that he's going to go ahead and do it. So he's going to tie his own hands. Basically, you're saying when Trump signs it, it's telling him, dude, you can't reverse these sanctions without going through us now.
Right.
Because, everybody was afraid he was going to take these sanctions off of Russia that Putin's been pushing, and Trump ain't going to be able to do it now. That's what I mean. What game is Trump playing? Is he really for sanctions for Russia, and he's just acting like he's not? Is he just playing a card that was given to him to act like he doesn't want to? But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Is he really against Putin, and this whole time he's been pretending he's not? It's weird, but either way, he says he's going to sign these. This is what that story was. I was talking about Putin and them saying that this is going to take us to a whole new level we haven't seen since the Cold War.
Right. And the internal fighting in this country is getting even worse, too.
And you got to figure with this going on, with this over in Syria over there, and we're, about North Korea and everything else. It's like someone said in my group today to me. They said, I wouldn't be surprised, as weak as America is right now, if fucking Iran, North Korea, Russia, and China just didn't do a 4-prong attack on us one day.
Be careful what you wish for.
I could see it happening now. I really could. All 4 of them just fucking hammering us at one time.
Yeah. Then you got this. Just a day after reports emerged that the FBI had seized a number of smashed hard drives and other computer equipment from the residence of Imran Awan, the IT aide of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. We learned that Awan has been captured at the Dulles airport while he attempted to flee the country. This came from Fox News. Awan has been charged with bank fraud. Inexplicably, or perhaps not, Awan has been kept on the payroll of former DNC chairman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, despite a rapidly escalating scandal that potentially involves multiple federal crimes. For those that have managed to avoid this story, which could be difficult even in the mainstream media, has made every attempt to ignore it, the Pakistani-born brothers Abid and Imran and Jamal Awan are the center of a criminal investigation by U.S. Capitol Hill Police and the FBI. Up until now, allegations of wrongdoing have varied from overcharging taxpayers for congressional IT equipment to blackmailing members of Congress with secrets captured from the emails of Democrat employers. Just yesterday, we learned that FBI agents reportedly seized a number of smashed hard drives, that's all in quotes, smashed hard drives, and other computer equipment from the Awan's former residence in Virginia. Capitol Police have also seized computer equipment tied to the Florida lawmaker. That would be Debbie Wasserman Schultz. As background, Imran was first employed in 2004 by Robert Wexler, a Democrat from Florida, as an IT director before he began working in Wasserman Schultz's office in 2005. The family was paid extremely well, with Imran being paid nearly $2 million working as IT support staffer for House Democrats since 2004. Abid Awan and his wife Hina Alvi were each paid more than $1 million working for Democrats. In total, since 2003, the family has collected nearly $5 million. I'm not going to keep going because the story gets kind of long in the tooth. But anyway, they've arrested this dirtbag, and we'll see what happens. I would like to see him throw ropes out around everybody's neck and drag them all down with him when he goes, because I don't think he's getting out of this one. But we'll see. David, anybody have a comment on that story? Anybody been keeping up with that story?
I read it earlier today.
The only place you'll hear about it is on places like this. Mainstream media will not say one word about it tomorrow.
Nope.
Fox News talked about it a little bit tonight.
Did they?
The alternative news sites will talk about it, but it will not be on any of the Alphabet News Channel shows.
No, I doubt it too. David, you were going to say something?
No, I'd seen that story earlier too today.
Yeah. I think it was several weeks back I tweeted out a story of Schultz going up against some judge down there in her local district about computer equipment that had been seized by the sheriff's department, and she was trying to berate the sheriff in front of all these people, and he was like, hey, you'll get the shit back when we're done with our investigation. So, yeah, she's getting her ass handed to her, I think, and that would be great. I think she's a scumbag first order, along with all the other ones on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, David.
Oh, what else I got here? China and Russia's getting ready to stage a massive drill over by the Baltics. And, Russia's also getting ready for their big military exercise in September with Belarus, where they're going to send hundreds of thousands of troops, man. And, NATO thinks that this is a real invasion. Who knows? After these sanctions, Putin may just go for it and invade the Baltic states. Who knows, man? Or he could do a full push into Ukraine now.
What do you think about China building up all the shit on the border over there with North Korea?
Yeah, China's they've been building nuclear bunkers. They've been putting up more posts.
It's like they think
know
something's coming.
China.
Yeah. They don't know if it's going to be an invasion of the U.S. into Korea or what,
Yeah.
But they think something's coming.
And
then they got all the shit going on with India.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. That's huge, man, and that's definitely an undercovered story on mainstream media. They're not saying shit about this, and they should be. This is the most volatile situation out of all the wars going on in the world right now. This is the most volatile, and I'll tell you why. Because you've got India on one side, and you got China and China on the other. They're even having shoving matches. The shoulder. There was a video out yesterday of the soldiers fighting each other with fists on the borderline there.
Mm-hmm.
And China's been massing up troops. They've brought in, how many did they bring in? Was it 5,000, something like that? And they've already, or 50,000 they've called up, but they've already sent 5,000 toward the front line. India's sent like 3,000 or so toward the front line. Right now, there's right on the front line, there's only a couple hundred from each side looking at each other. But if you go several miles behind each side, they've got thousands of troops and bases set up. They're fighting for this piece of land, and they've been going at it for a long time over this. And it's basically India's afraid that China's going to take this path. And then they're making, I guess China started building a military road, and India stopped it. And India told China, you're not coming this way, dude, because we know, India's afraid that they're going to try to invade through the north up there and take over smaller countries. That's what they're afraid of with China.
Yeah.
And China says they're not, but the deal is this is contested land that India and China's been fighting for years. And who knows how this is going to end. It's getting crazier every day, man. And they're both building up tanks. Everything are being moved closer and closer toward that front line every day.
Do you know that in the last 15 days, there have been 12 million people in China displaced by flooding from torrential rains?
Yep.
In 15 days. Now,
not just China; it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place. India's losing hundreds of thousands of acres to flood waters and stuff, and it's happening here in the U.S. too. There's torrential storms coming down and downfalls and floods, and I got to tell you something, people. I know that shit's getting, but if this is weather warfare that we're watching right now, to some extent, I got to wonder just what they're doing. I mean, how many people are they trying to get rid of? Because they're killing quite a few people with these floods. And it's got to keep the governments busy. dealing with their, internal strife instead of paying attention to.
Wasn't it during Vietnam that we tried to flood the Ho Chi Minh Trail with cloud seeding?
Yep. But now they're doing it with HARP, and chemtrailing and whatever the fuck else they're doing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird. And plus, I mean, if you want to throw the biblical aspect into everything, in the end times, shit's going to get off the hook, and shit's getting off the hook. If you guys want to really know, look out in the Pacific right now. There are back-to-back typhoons that are getting ready to hit China, so it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. And then you throw the World War III thing in on top of everything else, and so.
Well, they're saying here the Kremlin just made a statement and said that these new U.S. sanctions are sad news for U.S.-Russia ties.
See, told you. And then him and Putin just shook hands and went all thumbsies and stuff, man. They were just at the G20 rubbing elbows with each other and saying how great each other was and high-fiving and smacking butts and what. And now this.
I bet Putin feels like he was set up.
Putin knew what was going on, dude. He's no dummy. He's no dummy. He's just playing his part.
He was just feeling Trump out and probably, now he'll probably release the P tapes on Trump with all the Russian hookers pissing on him.
Right. Okay. And then there's this. Former NFL star and Iraq veteran sues Jeff Sessions over 1970s cannabis law.
Fuck that guy.
A former NFL star and Iraq war veteran suffering from PTSD has launched a suit against U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions over a federal cannabis law. The pair have teamed with a group advocating the use of cannabis on medical and business grounds and are suing Sessions, the Department of Justice, as well as the DEA. In total, the 5 plaintiffs include former New York Jets football player Marvin Washington, U.S. Army veteran Joe Jose Belin, an 11-year-old girl who suffers from epilepsy. They all believe the 1970s Controlled Substance Act, signed into law by former U.S. President Richard Nixon, is unconstitutional. Under the legislation, marijuana is said to be dangerous as heroin and N-ethyl-3-piperidal benzylate. I think I murdered that. Chemical which acts on the central nervous system. The CSA has wrongfully and unconstitutionally criminalized the cultivation, distribution, sale, and possession of cannabis, which historically has been harvested to produce, among other things, medicine, industrial hemp, a substance known as tetrahydrocannabinol, the suit states. It adds classifying cannabis as a Schedule I drug while ignoring the undeniable, addictive, and lethal chemical properties of nicotine and tar, which kill millions of Americans every year, renders this misclassification of cannabis utterly irrational and absurd. The court documents reveal that Washington opposes the act because he fears he could damage his business of treating head injuries with cannabinol and tetrahydrocannabinol, both components of marijuana. Meanwhile, the other plaintiffs are seeking legalization of the drug for medical reasons, since they either live in states where medical marijuana is illegal or are restricted from traveling with the drug. In the case of Iraq War veteran Jose Belin, the suit argues that he's not able to obtain treatment from the U.S. Veterans Administration for his PTSD and cannot safely enter an airplane or federal building with the drug. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has previously highlighted his opposition to legalizing the drug on federal level and once commented that good people don't smoke marijuana. The U.S. Department of Justice and the Drug Enforcement Agency has yet to respond to this filing. Any comments?
Yeah, I'll be glad. I don't support Trump, but I will support him shit canning that fucking old son of a bitch and getting rid of him, man. This dude's a fucking danger to society.
Yes,
he's out for his own goddamn agenda, man. It's like I've stated. He always said, I supported the KKK, but I found out they smoked weed. Fuck him. When you're saying marijuana is as bad as the opiate addiction going around, heroin addiction, it's not even the same fucking league.
Good night, Lori.
It's people like him that are keeping me from getting fucking, some pain relief.
I know. Not just him. Lots of other people on Capitol Hill that are against it.
Lots of other people, but the buck starts with him as Attorney General.
Oh, I know. And I think he's a complete douchebag. He's uneducated, and he doesn't feel like educating himself on the facts. He feels like standing on his fucking laurels, and they're
What
wrong.
he has against weed is beyond me, man. He's been that way since the 70s with Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, probably got a kid that's all strung out on pot.
You know, the devil's fucking lettuce, as he calls it. And it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. The dude looks like a damn angry elf.
He is.
And I'd get rid of him, you know. But then Trump's talking about putting Giuliani in his place. Good God, help us all.
Giuliani's just another old fucking dirtbag, man. I mean,
Yeah. 9/11 fucking war criminal.
right? All right, next story. Moving on. 25 minutes. Spit it out.
Sorry so angry tonight, Jimmy. I've just had it between.
Oh, I know, man. You got the pain eating at you and shit, and you had a bad night, and I know, I got you. Don't worry about it, man. I want you to vent. This is why I ask you to come on every week, so you can give vent.
Taiwan is readying its World War II era artillery to defend its one contested island in the South China Sea. You should see these things in picture of it. They're like big ass cannons, man.
Yes, because that'd
Everybody-
be effective against the Chinese.
Yeah, because it's
we
just
should sell them some weapons.
because war, man. Because war. Everybody's
Yeah,
just
man, we should
gearing
sell
up
them
for
some
Well,
technology.
Trump said he was.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're going to do it, but Trump said that he was going to sell them, and China come unglued with that. But you haven't heard much about that.
Yeah, South Korea don't want them, right? To just take them THAADs up and ship them over there.
Yeah, we should. They don't want us over there anymore.
Japan don't want us neither. They just filed a new lawsuit, said they want that fucking Marine base gone.
Nobody wants us anywhere. They just want our money.
Where is it? Where is it? The fall of the U.S.
In big news, Justin Bieber got banned from going to China.
Yeah, because he's too childish. That's what they said. He's too childish. They don't want him over there. He causes too many problems. He's uncontrollable. He's a douchebag Canadian.
Yep, and then he canceled the rest of his world tour after China told him to piss off.
Oh,
That's pretty funny. I didn't hear that.
poor Justin
Yeah,
Bieber.
he had a fit, and he said, "I'm going through depression, and I can't handle it. I can't go out in public without people wanting a piece of me." And
Guess what, Justin? Okay, next story.
next story, this just came out from North Korea. You know, they're celebrating the Armistice Day today over there.
Oh,
And KCNA, their news over there, their state news, there's some quotations coming out here. It says, KCNA, the only way out for the U.S. is to withdraw the hostile policy toward the DPRK and kneel and apologize before its army and people.
what?
And it also says the shining victory won by the Korean people in the war was a military miracle that put an end to the myth of the U.S. mightiness.
Wow.
Well, that
I
part
guess-
is somewhat accurate, but
I guess they want Trump to go over there and kneel before Zeus and apologize for the sins of America.
Somebody needs to. We've done a lot of sinning.
yeah,
We've done a lot of sinning. Killed a
every
lot of innocent
president's
people.
been a war criminal for 50 years.
Right.
Who was the president during the Korean War?
Johnson?
Nixon? Johnson? Oh, Korean War.
Yeah, Korea.
I don't know. Yeah,
I think that was, what, 1950 through 1954 or something like that?
Oh, no, it wasn't Johnson. Johnson came after Kennedy, right? Shit, I can't remember. Somebody's typing it into their Google.
Yeah, I am. Truman.
Truman.
Oh, Truman. You know, that was our biggest mistake ever over there is not to sign it, you know, not to sign the fucking end of war and just an armistice, you know.
Ike.
And this
David
just came
Allison,
out
Ike.
from him. Said
Close.
it is clear who will win the confrontation between the DPRK and the U.S. The winner is definitely the DPRK, and the loser is the U.S.
We can't bomb them back to the Stone Age. They're already there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the fucking truth.
It's the
You know,
truth.
what
They
the
really
what the
are
fuck?
there.
You know, they'll just fill in some holes that we make and go on with their lives, man. You know. All right. This little story's coming in from Charlie because he can't make it tonight. Let's see. This is from KSL.com, which is just up the street from his place, I reckon. Riverdale, Weber County, Utah. Two couples from Weber County died Wednesday when a small plane crashed onto I-15 in Riverdale, snarling freeway traffic for hours. Lane and Diana Clark, ages 48 and 46 respectively, of Taylor were killed in the crash, along with Perry and Sarah Huffacker, ages 45 and 42 respectively, of West Haven, the Utah Department of Public Safety reported. Officials have not yet identified who was flying the plane. The Beech A-36 Bonanza that the couples were flying in took off from Ogden-Hinckley Airport shortly before 1 p.m., then quickly crashed a half a mile away for unknown reasons. According to the FAA, they don't know shit because they're federal. Audio of the conversation between the plane's male pilot and air traffic controllers recorded the pilot receiving clearance to take off, then 45 seconds later reporting that he was going down. In the moments afterwards, calls between other pilots and air traffic controllers described the crash. I just saw him go down. He's hit the highway there, says one man. Another man replies with an expletive. I'm guessing it was, holy shit, or something to that effect. A third says, look, he spun out of control and just went straight down to the highway. All northbound lanes were initially closed and southbound traffic was down to one lane as crews were responded. Police said leaving traffic in both directions significantly delayed into the evening. April Demetropoulos of Salt Lake City was driving to work in Ogden when the plane crashed so close to her car that she felt the reverberations of its impact and heat from the large explosion. Her quote is, out of nowhere from the east side, a plane came swooping in and just nose-dived into the middle of the freeway. It exploded, and the flames engulfed the entire street. The plane missed passing cars on the freeway, Demetropoulos said. Nearby drivers pulled to the side and immediately rushed to help. Her quote again, the kid in front of me, he pulled over in front of me. As I pulled over further behind him, he jumped and ran, and he was already on his cell phone. Demetropoulos was among numerous witnesses who called 911 and stayed to provide statements to law enforcement. Another quote from her, it was full force. It didn't look like anyone was trying to slow down or anything. It was just a full nosedive straight into the ground. Something went seriously wrong on board that plane. God help those people and pray for their families. That is got to be a horrible way to go, knowing that you're going to crash.
Oh, that'd be scary, man.
Lane Clark's brother, Corey Clark, who also died in a plane accident in 2002, according to an obituary. The Desert News reported at the time that Corey Clark was a passenger in the lightweight experimental aircraft which crashed in Ogden-Hinckley Airport just after lifting off the runway. Blah, blah, blah. The Clark brothers were business partners in High Country Aviation, the company that manufactured the aircraft. Perry Huffacker was a member of the Ogden Trails Network Committee. Ogden City Council tweeted about Huffacker's death Wednesday, saying Ogden is a better place because of Perry's services. So there is video to go along with that. They dispatched a helicopter just moments after this thing crashed, and you can see the line of traffic behind it. And the scene on the ground is just a burnt scar. There is nothing left of that plane. I mean nothing. I will drop this link into the room for everybody if you want to go check all that stuff out. Next story, David.
What else is there here? There was something I was going to say and I forgot, man. Oh, I was going to talk about, I don't know if that video, it's made, world news, they're here in Walmart. Was it yesterday? It got put online. You know, these three Muslim girls were in this car in the Walmart parking lot, and they blocked this lady in. They pulled up too close to her, and she couldn't get out of her car. So she rolled down her window and yelled at them to move, and they wouldn't move. So she ended up going out the passenger door, and she came around. This was an older lady, and she was kind of heavier set, and she got into it with them. Well, the three Muslim girls were baiting her, and they turned on their video camera and started some shit with her with the tape rolling. And it catches a woman leaning into the passenger window saying, you know, we're going to fucking kill all of you. You know, we're sick of you in this country. We're going to kill you all.
I seen that one.
Yeah, and they took it to the cops. The three Muslim girls took it to the cops, got her license plate, and the cops didn't charge her with anything yet. But the lady apologized on her Facebook page here and said, you know, she's sorry she went that far, but she says, I'm an avid Trump supporter, her own words. She says, I believe in a Christian America, and these people are ruining it. She said, but I shouldn't have said what I said to them about killing them all. And now she got fired from her job. Her boss found out about it, fired her from her job this morning.
Wow, man.
She's having death threats. Police had to patrol around her house.
Thank you, Internet.
She's getting death threats from Americans, not just Muslims, but from American citizens too, saying you're trying to start a race war in our town. And that lady, you know, I'd agree. They stink. They need to learn to speak English. They're rude. I agree with all that.
They egged her on.
That lady saying we're going to kill you all was kind of crossing the line.
They egged her on. You know, I mean, people can only get their buttons pushed for so long until they snap.
Well, these three Muslim girls baited her in.
That's what I mean.
They knew exactly what they were doing, and the lady's only fault is falling for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as she seen that video camera in her face, she's seen it too, because you seen her lean in toward the camera. She should have just said, you're taping this. I ain't saying shit. Instead, she lost her cool, you know?
That's what Lori's talking about, you know? Don't feed into the hate. I think that's what Lori's talking about. The lady should have just smiled at him and said, I love you. That would have got their ass more than, you know, popping off and giving them what they wanted. I get it, Lori. I get it now.
You know, it's a messed up. Like I said, I don't like them too much either. You know, you can't get within 2 feet of them without wanting to puke. They stink so bad. They've overtaken this town. I mean, it's just, they're everywhere, man. But you know, I wouldn't have gone as far as saying we're going to kill you all on tape. That's kind of stupid, knowing that they're going to put it on social media.
Right.
You know, everybody's got a camera these days. You know, that's the whole deal. When you're in a confrontation with someone, you better believe there's someone around you taping it. This is all part of the fucking agenda, man. It's all part of the game. The infighting, everybody hates everybody else. That's all part of the game. That's what they want. That's what they want. Yeah, she's sorry. It's like Dawn said. She's sorry she got caught saying it. I don't think she's sorry that she said it. She's sorry she got caught on video saying we're going to kill you all, because you know inside her head she's still thinking it.
Right.
And like I said, she come out and said, well, that's why I voted for Trump, to get these people out of here. And I'm like, well, you just outed yourself as a racist, so... You know, and it's just, it's sad, man, especially in Fargo, North Dakota, of all places, that this is going on. I've always said, when you see shit like this popping off in Fargo, it's over. It's over. Because when I moved here in 88, this was just a peaceful community. It has a little bit of a city feel, but it has a lot of country feel to it still. Even till today, even though it's getting bigger and bigger, it still has that small town feel to it. That's why I've stayed up here this whole time, because we have crime, and it's getting worse, but it's nothing compared to like Minneapolis, 4 hours south of us.
Right.
You know, even though we're the biggest town in North Dakota, we've got about under 100,000 people here, 88,000 people here. There's not even 1 million people in this state. There's only a little over 800,000 people in this whole state.
That's
And but
799,000 people too many.
and the deal is, though,
Yeah, there's a reason why that.
when you see this shit happening in Fargo of all places, I can't imagine how it is in your real big cities.
Fuck.
I mean, I can't. I see it on the
real
news
big
every day.
cities. I mean, they're shipping them all out to the small cities like you, so they don't.
Right.
I mean, so it's probably not as big of a problem in the big cities as it is in the smaller places like you are. Because again, that's where they're shipping them all to.
They've got a refugee resettlement center in South Dakota right below us, man. And from there, they're shipping these refugees out to 3 or 4 different states like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. And they're all being held in a big camp in South Dakota when they get here. And then from there, they decide which state they're going to.
Eeny,
If
meeny,
you go down
miny,
South
mo.
Dakota,
Catch
man,
a
it's
tiger
just a
by his toe.
huge-
Draw the straws, fellas. Short straw goes to South Dakota.
You go to South Dakota, they got a huge camp, almost like a refugee-style camp in Turkey or Jordan or Lebanon set up in South Dakota, except they're treated a lot better.
Wonderful.
And they're all mainly
You
Somalians.
think they're treated a lot
And-
better. The media makes it look like they're being treated a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, they're not living in fucking tents. It's an indoor facility. And,
where they're receiving vaccines every day and being tested
Oh
on
yeah,
by medical
I'm sure. And
experiments.
they're
and
getting
shit.
told how to hate the white man. Probably, who knows? But
Right.
it's just people talk about
Being
the
registered
Syrians.
as a Democratic
the
voter.
Syrians haven't even got here yet. We're still getting the Somalians.
Yeah.
Number one thing, they need to teach these people how to bathe, man. They can clear a room out in 2 seconds.
It's not their culture.
And that's the thing that offends me the most is they stink, man. And that's just being honest.
They're not going to be. They're not going to be
body odor
assimilated.
and shit they cook with.
If you think that they're not going to be they're going to be assimilated into U.S. culture, you've got a big thing coming, man. Because they're not. They're not. They're not. They're going to expect us to bend over every time they ask us to, and to bend, bow to their whims and wishes, and that's the way it's going to play out, dude.
I thought
And the
Trump was
government's
going to stop this shit. He didn't stop it. They're still pouring over here.
He didn't do anything that he said he was going to do, man. Come on, don't buy into the bullshit. That's why I said it.
No, I'm just being a smart ass.
I know.
I'm just saying. Trump said he's going to stop it. He didn't stop shit. I got to live and prove they're pouring in over here.
Yep.
Like I said, it's crazy. We ain't even got really Iraqis or Syrians or even Afghanis. We've got Somalians up here.
Right. All right, we got 10 minutes left. What else you got over there? I already closed my Twitter. I'm not going to do it.
What else is there?
What do you got, Lance? I hear you opening your mic up.
No.
I know the big story, the biggest story yet. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, announced
moving to
yesterday
Frankfurt.
they are moving out of Washington, D.C. to China.
but
I'm saying that
the
the IMF is in on this BRICS Bank. They threw their support behind the BRICS Bank, and now they announced yesterday that they are officially moving out of D.C. to Beijing.
When is that?
I'm not for sure they didn't give a date.
the European
2036.
the
It'll be a
European
lot
Central
sooner than that, the way the story read.
the European Central Bank is moving to Frankfurt.
So, when you got the IMF, after, like I said a while back when the BRICS came
Moving
out, the IMF threw their support behind the BRICS. And I always said, Jimmy said, this is a transfer of wealth from the West to the East. And now you got the IMF making their move. That tells you it's right. We're right on.
This is
in
the
West,
death of the
especially.
dollar.
Europe has been destroyed by immigration. We're going to be destroyed we're going to destroy ourselves.
That 2036 date's just a date they threw out there because it's numbers and numerics, and they're talking to somebody that's in the know with those numbers or whatever. They'll move that as soon as the infrastructure is built over there and they have the server base ready to go to dump all their information. They'll have it done in 1 day. And it ain't going to take till 2036.
Like I said, Europe, their plan was immigration was going to destroy it, and it did. And America's plans, we're going to destroy each other over here.
Yep. We're already destroyed, man. This country is in the fucking can. We just don't know it. They keep
We've got
printing
one
money.
hell of a race war coming.
They keep
man.
printing
One
money and
hell
making
of a
people.
race war is coming.
They keep manipulating all the numbers and shit and blah, 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 blah. It's we're living in a fucking illusion. Woof. Woof, woof. Back at you. All right. Next. You got anything, Lance? Come on. Chime in there.
No, I forgot all the shit that pissed me off this week already.
Wow.
There were a couple things that just popped up, and I was like, oh, I got to mention something about that. And then I don't even remember what they are. I said to myself, I need to write that down so I can remember.
So next time,
it's just pissed me off. It pissed me off so fucking bad. That's why. But
well, next time something like that happens, text me about it, and that way I'll have a recording of it, and then I can roll back and tell you. Oh, remember when you said this?
That's a fantastic fucking idea. Let me tell you.
All right. So
this came out today. The Arkansas Legal Bar Association says that it won't strip Hillary Clinton of anything. It says they're not going to punish her over her emails. So she's untouchable, man.
Untouchable.
That's just disgusting.
Great state of Arkansas.
That's just disgusting. She's not untouchable, man. She's not.
She has been so far.
She has been so far, but she's not untouchable. She's not untouchable.
I don't see her going the way of Seth Rich anytime soon.
All right, before we get out of this, I want to throw this out for everybody. All right? So Chester Bennington killed himself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He hung himself on Chris Cornell's birthday, the day before mine. There's a story out there right now that says that Chester Bennington is John Podesta's bastard son from an affair that he had with somebody back in the day, that he and Chris Cornell were both subjected to sexual torture when they were children.
Yep.
And that's the reason that they were so close in their adulthood. The police have released the information from the inside of Cornell's house, or not Cornell's house, but Bennington's house. There were no drugs anywhere
Just
on that property.
Half a bottle of alcohol.
Nowhere on that property. Okay. If you put a picture of Chester Bennington next to Podesta, John Podesta, they look alike.
Yeah, they look exactly alike.
I don't know where they're going to go with this story. I don't know how true it is. You know, usually the offbeat rags and stuff are the shit that carries the real story. So, we'll see what pans out. I just wanted to get everybody's input on that. I don't know if anybody else is paying any attention to that, but, I really don't.
Well, they also said that before Chris Cornell died, that he had a black book of pedophiles that he was getting ready to get busted, especially in Hollywood. And he gave that book to Chester before he died. And then, basically they found out after they killed Chris, that they killed him because they knew that Chester had that black book.
Like I said, I don't know.
Chester was heavily sexually abused as a child.
Yep. Like I said, I don't know where it's going.
I doubt it'll go anywhere, but I believe it. I could believe it.
Dawn says, I don't believe he was his son, but they were both murdered. Dawn, I'm telling you right now, man, I don't know if there's ever going to be any DNA tests or anything like that. I doubt any of that shit. But if you put their faces, if you morph their faces over one another, they have the exact same eyes. They have the exact same nasal structure. They have the exact same cheek structure. Genetics just don't lie. If you look at them, they look like the same person. Chester,
right, even if you put them side by side, they look like each other.
Chester looks like a young John Podesta.
Yep. I saw that today. I'm like, good God, they look like twins.
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe they were fighting child porn and needed to be shut up. I think that there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes about this pedophilia network. The whole Pizzagate crap just blew it wide open, man, and people aren't going to be quiet about it anymore. They're not. They're not. I'm surprised that Corey Feldman's still breathing after all the shit that he said. So... she's seen the pictures, she said. I don't know. That's just my thing. I speak my own truth.
I thought they looked alike.
I don't speak for anybody else. I just speak for me.
We'll never know the truth, you know. I mean, it'll go down as suicides, but I don't know, man. I just don't understand these two would just kill themselves like that.
From what I read in that story that I read, the police have changed it to a murder investigation, and they're going to start digging into it. I don't know if they're going after Podesta. You know, I don't know if they have any information or evidence as to who did what to who, but they said that they've declared that it is not a suicide scene, that it is a murder scene, and they're treating the thing as a murder now. So, and I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. That's what I read in that story.
Well, they released, you know, the pictures of Cornell's room where he hung himself, and there was a thing of blood on the floor and a little bit splattered on the wall.
Right.
And everybody's trying to figure out, well, where'd that come from? If he hung himself, where'd the blood come from?
Right. They released pictures from the inside of Bennington's place too. So,
you know, they both used the same kind of exercise band.
Yeah. That's almost like a signature serial killer, right? Strange.
You know, and the maid,
we live in a strange
found
time.
Bennington like that in that room, you know, and the deal is that, you know, he had a lot of things locked up inside him. That's what his music was about, all the pain he's been going through his whole life. But the deal is, you know, if they had just put out a new album in May, you wouldn't think you'd just go and just kill yourself right when your new album just came out. I mean, whoever did this tried to make it look like he felt, you know, that he was hung up on Cornell dying, and that's why he did it on Cornell's birthday.
Right.
That's the one thing. I think if someone did kill him, they're trying to make it look like that he never got over Cornell killing himself, and that he had a plan to kill himself on Cornell's birthday.
They said that according to the photos from the death scene at Chris Cornell's place, that he could have touched the ground at any time and stood up.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Unless you drug yourself into a fucking coma, there's no way that you're going to lay against a rope and choke yourself to death. There's just your body won't let you do it, man. Your body won't let you do it. You're going to fight for breath no matter what. It's an instinct. It's not something that you can control. You can control your breathing, but eventually your body's going to breathe. Whether it's a mouthful of water or what, you know, you're just not going to lay against a rope and choke yourself to death. Not when you have the ability to stand up and stop the pain. Just hinky. He had to be unconscious. You know? So.
You know, and then someone hacked his wife's account and started putting a bunch of shit that she was saying she slept with that other singer in the band and she cheated on him and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, someone hacked her account and it's messed up. There's something more behind all this.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rabbit hole.
All right. We're at the end of it. We made it through. I didn't even know if I was going to do a show tonight, to be honest with you people.
You know, it's just like Scalia, you know, laying on the floor with a pillow over his face.
Right. That was bullshit.
In his unwrinkled pajamas.
Yeah. Okey dokey.
No autopsy.
Yeah, no autopsy. Nope, none needed. None needed. Died of natural causes. He was naturally in the way of the agenda and got offed. Okie dokie.
You know, someone wants you, someone in the elite and the upper echelon wants you dead. They can make ways to have that happen.
Yeah, just ask Hillary Clinton and Bill.
Yep.
They've got a list of people behind them that are dead for, the Haitian guy just died. Well, whatever. We don't want to even go to that. We already talked about that a while back. Okie dokie. We're out, people. Thanks, David. Thanks, Lance. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Lori, love you.
Peace.
Appreciate you coming on, too. Everybody out there in Never Never Land, I'll see you next week. Love, peace, and cookies.